Is World War III coming? What's going on with Russia, Ukraine, Israel and Iran? Lately, you have been probably seeing a lot of serious news. Russia talking about nukes and Israel and Iran launching attacks and people saying World War III is coming. It sounds scary, right? But what's actually going on? And should we really be worried? In this video, I'll explain everything, what these global tensions are about and how nuclear weapons are involved, and whether World War III is actually a real possibility. So first, what are people really afraid of? World War III would mean a global war not just between 2 or 3 countries but many powerful nations fighting at once. And with today's weapons, this wouldn't be like the past. It could involve nuclear bombs, cyber attacks, space weapons, things far more dangerous. That's why when tension rises between nuclear countries, experts start warning about World War III. Now, let's start with Russia and Ukraine. In 2022, Russia invaded Ukraine. But why? Russia claims that Ukraine was getting too close to Western powers, especially NATO, which is a military alliance including the US, UK and Europe. Putin sees NATO as a threat. He didn't want Ukraine to join it. Also, Russia sees Ukraine as a part of its historical and cultural sphere, almost like it belongs to them. But Ukraine is a separate country and the people there don't want Russian control. So in short, Russia wants control and to stop NATO expansion. Ukraine wants independence and freedom to join West. Now, 2 years later, the war is still going on. Thousands have died, the West is sending weapons to Ukraine, and Russia is threatening nuclear weapons if the West goes too far. In last few weeks, Russia has launched its most intense wave of missile attack on Ukrainian cities since the war began in 2022. Cities like Kharkiv and Odessa have been badly hit. Ukraine has responded with drone strikes inside Russian territory, including near oil refineries and military bases. Recently, Ukraine even used Western supplied long-range missiles to hit the target inside Russian borders, which has made Russia threaten retaliation. Russian officials have once again said, "We may use nuclear weapons if we feel directly threatened." Also, Putin has renewed his alliance with North Korea and China, calling it a move to counter NATO influence. This is making Western countries nervous, especially the US and Europe. So even though there is still regional war, the involvement of powerful allies is slowly making it global. Now let's talk about Israel and Iran. This is a long and a complicated rivalry. Iran is an Islamic republic that supports many armed groups like Hamas and Hezbollah groups. Iran says they do this to fight for Palestinian rights. Israel calls them terrorists. On the other side, Israel believes that Iran is secretly trying to build a nuclear bomb. Iran says their nuclear program is peaceful, but Israel doesn't believe that. And also, Iran wants to become the dominant power in the Middle East, and Israel wants to stop that. Earlier this year, in April, Iran launched hundreds of missiles and drones at Israel, in what many call the largest direct attack Iran has ever done. Most were intercepted, but some caused damage near military bases. Israel responded with airstrikes deep inside Iran, targeting suspected nuclear sites and military facilities. This was major escalation because for decades they have mostly attacked through proxy groups like Hezbollah or Hamas. Now in June 2025, tensions remain very high. There are regular border clashes between Lebanon, rocket fire from Gaza and threats from Hezbollah in the north. The US has sent more warships to the region to back Israel. Meanwhile, Iran has warned it will respond with unlimited force if attacked again. And the biggest fear is if Iran is close to building a nuclear bomb, Israel may strike first to stop it. If this continues, it could turn into a bigger regional war and major powers might get involved. The US supports Israel, Russia and China supports Iran. Countries like Saudi Arabia, Turkey and even India could be caught in the middle. So you can imagine, one misstep, the entire region could explode into conflict. So now you might ask, why are people so scared about nukes? Because nuclear weapons are not just powerful, they are world-ending. One nuclear bomb can destroy an entire city, and radiation can poison people for decades. Right now, 9 countries have nuclear weapons: US, Russia, India, Pakistan, China, France, UK, North Korea, and possibly Israel. The problem is, during the Cold War, there were treaties to control those weapons. But now, many of those treaties are gone. Russia, China, and North Korea are growing their arsenals. The US is modernizing its bombs. And there is very little international trust. So even if no one wants a nuclear war, the fear is that one war like Ukraine or Israel, Iran could trigger something by accident or miscalculation. So what's the real situation? Are we heading towards World War III? At the moment, no. It hasn't started, but yes, the risk is higher than it has been in decades. Big countries are not talking to each other much. Wars are happening, nuclear weapons are back in the headlines, and the powerful leaders are becoming more aggressive. It may not happen tomorrow, but if these fights keep growing, especially with nukes involved, the danger becomes very real. So what can we do? Honestly, even as citizen awareness matters, the more we understand these global issues, the more pressure we can put on the leaders to avoid war and talk peace. If this video helped you understand the real story behind these conflicts, do give it a like. And thanks for watching Elephant Scoop. Stay safe, stay informed, and let's all hope for peace.